Alright troops, how's it going? Welcome to Affordable Watching Episode 5, the Jaragar Review. So we've finally been able to utilise the backboard, which is great. We actually have been able to put a little menu of what we're going to talk about today on Affordable Watching, but there is a little bit of a downside to it, and that is, well, quite simply, I haven't got any A's. I had to get a watch which has, 7 letters, 3 of them are all the same. So we've run out of A's for the board, but ignore that. This is what we're focusing on today, the Jaragar. So I've had this on now for a fair bit of time, and, well, we're here to talk about today whether or not I actually think you should buy one. So I'm going to talk to you about a lot of the aspects I've found of using the watch and enjoying it. I've also found there are certain bits about the watch I'm not so keen on, and overall I'll then at the end give it a bit of a summary and see where we go. So what do I like about the watch? Firstly, well, it's big. It's a really big watch. It's a Breitling homage inspired watch, and it's big. It is, well, I say big, it's huge on the wrist when it's on a person with slightly smaller wrist size. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so. I like a big watch. I think if you want a big watch, this is perfect for what you would seek to get from a big watch. It has a lot of presence on the wrist and it gets noticed. Other things that I like about this is it feels very good quality. The movement inside has kept time very, very well. I've not had to really bother about how many seconds a day it's losing, if any. More or less, it's been on and off my wrist throughout the week. Another watch arrived this week that I've also had to wear for a little bit. So this one did run down on its power reserve and I had to get it back on. But it's a very nice feeling winding it. The weird thing is, though, because when you wind it, it then sets off. Now, I've done a bit of research online whether or not this is a faulty mechanism. And the general consensus is as long as that's spinning, it's charging, which I thought was quite unusual because I thought, it'd be the inner, sort of the, what do you call it? Oh, the word has lost me. The winding coil. We'll call it that for now. It's been a very long day at work today. I thought that was it running down, but apparently it doesn't seem to be the case. Either or, it's not a very expensive watch, so I wouldn't expect it 100% to be perfect. But I've not had a problem with this thing running. When I've had it on, it's run. When I've taken it off, it's stopped as I would expect it to do. Seems to last the night, so if I've had it on throughout the day, I can take it. I never wear my watch in bed. I've got apparently a habit of thrashing about a little bit in my sleep. I'm terrified of that knocking my wife out in the middle of the night, so I never wear a watch. But when I wake up in the morning to put this back on, it's still keeping time, which is it's a good sign that it can last the night. The dates, chronographs have only been pushed once, so when I first took it out, we noticed that is the sort of 0 to 7, so you can time what day it is. That's the day of the month, and this is the 24-hour clock. That's been perfect. I've only caught that once, and I didn't really notice it that much, but obviously you've got to push all the way through to get it back round again. The only thing I would say with this is because that's so small, you really have to look to see where whereabouts in the month you are, but that's not a big factor. I like a watch that will tell me 24 hours, but I live in Yorkshire, so if it's bright, it's daytime. If it's dark, it's nighttime. I'm hardly going to look at it and forget what time of day it is. But that's just me. On the actual sort of dial that we've got here, we've got this slide ruler. So I'm still learning how to operate this, I had to do a bit of research, and it's something that you can do calculations with. You can do a variety of things. They're actually very, very clever. I did not have time when I actually found a video on what it was to actually go through it. So that's something on my to-do list to learn. On the other sort of sections here, we've got other bits I'm not quite sure of. So this base 1000M, I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. That seems to be something completely different. And then it's also got 1 to 30. Again, not quite sure, but it's part and parcel of learning. I haven't had lots of time to do it. I've been doing my exams again, so I've got one more module now to do, and I think when I've done that module, I'm going to buy a really nice watch that isn't affordable watching. I think that's going to be the one time to say, because I get a little bonus as part of doing the exam if I pass. I might use that to buy something nice. Now, I'm not talking Rolex or, you know, AP or anything like that. I'm just going to get a nice watch as a bit of a commemoration that I've actually done something above and beyond what I would normally do. But by the by, this has been brilliant for the week as I've worn it. This is pointless, but it's really fun to play with. It really is a good little clicky noise. What else to talk about that's good about the watch? Well, it's very easy to read because it's so big. It's a bit like a wall clock. You could put it up there. It's very easy to read. I've not had a problem noticing. I like that on the second hand it's got a very smooth little movement, and because it's red it stands out, so that's quite nice. Did get someone actually in my office. They said that's a very nice watch, and it's very rare I actually get compliments on watches. It's just not something that, you know, people tend to do. If they're into watches, they will say it. But this is someone who wasn't into watches, but they said it was very nice. My wife was there at the same time, so I said, haha, at least someone likes my watch. And yeah, I'm in trouble now. That's by the by. Love my wife. But yeah, she says I've got too many watches. I mean, I have a YouTube channel talking about watches. I mean, you can never have too many watches. You know, it's an argument for another day. Anyway, we've talked about things we like. It's good. But what don't I like? Well, if you'll notice, obviously I've mentioned that it's very, very hard to keep track of. If you'll notice that it's got white and white and shiny and white and white, with that logo, I know it's an homage to a Breitling, but that logo, it looks a bit Breitling. So it doesn't now necessarily look like an homage that's done its own thing. It actually looks like a fake Breitling until you get close and go, that's clearly not a Breitling. I don't think I hate it for that, but it definitely feels like they took what Breitling were doing on, I think, Navi Timer, and then just went copy, paste, stick our name on, make a few tweaks. Not something I would say was too bad, but I would definitely say that, you know, they were doing an homage watch, but oh, sorry, jump cut. It looks like my phone decided just to cut out recording there and turn off. I was saying it's an homage watch to a Breitling, but it looks very, very much like a Breitling. More so, their logo looks very Breitling-esque. Not the worst thing in the watch that I would probably say, but it's definitely something that I'd say mars the experience a little bit. You'd quite like to distance yourself a little bit from the thing you're homaging from, but again, not the end of the world. What is the end of the world is my bloody strap. So I've put it on, and where it's been put on, it rubs. Now, this is technically down to me because I should have measured this, and so this is the pin that would go in. and what it would need to do is just be bent slightly. So that bend would then go over the sort of the circumference of the edge of the watch and would allow the strap to sort of bend outwards a bit and not rub. Now, if I'm honest, it's not really worth me replacing the strap. It's only the outer layer that seems to have rubbed off. When it's covered, you'd never notice it, but it's definitely something that I know is there. But I'm also of the opinion that, you know, I will use this watch as a sort of a daily watch, as a beta watch in a collection of used watches that are to get scratched and buffed and all that stuff. And I'm not asked if that happens. Wear and tear does happen, and it's something that, you know, if I ever do replace the strap, I'll bear it in mind. You know, I'll easily get that rectified the second time, but it's not the end of the world. What else don't I like about the Jaragar? That's about it. It's a really, really nice watch. It feels good. I mean, ultimately, I wind it. It seems to unwind itself, but it never seems to lose time. It's a cheap movement, but it's cheap to replace if it breaks. It's big, but that means you can see it. It looks a bit too much like a Breitling, but then if you wanted a Breitling, there you go. But let's look at the positives. It's got a slide ruler, which when you learn how to use them is impressively clever, and it gives you something to research about your watch. It's comfortable, it's weighty, it's good looking, it's not too bling bling chromy. It sort of looks very, very nice if you wore it as part of formal office wear, or, you know, going out and about. You know, it fits in a variety of places. It's not a dress watch, but if you were going to wear a dress watch, you wouldn't necessarily be looking for anything like this, but you could wear it as a dress watch. If you got a black leather strap, perhaps, yeah, you could wear it as a dress watch. I mean, I unwrapped this thinking I'm either going to love it or hate it, and I do love it. It has won a place in my heart, in my collection. I will put a link in. I don't know where it is when I don't, but a link will be somewhere for you to find one of these, and I will also put the link for this strap. Again, I'm not affiliated with the chaps who make this strap. It's just a really good strap. I have 4 of them now, and I'm finding now that I'm trying to look at the remaining straps I've not got and what kind of a watch I think would fit in well with it. So I'm not now buying the watch, I'm buying a strap to put a watch on, which it shouldn't go that way, but it's really good. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Do you like this? Because I look at it and I think I shouldn't like it, but I really, really do. It is nowhere near going in the prestige collection, but it is not going in the collection of the day-to-day quartzes that I've got. It's in this purgatory of, I will wear it throughout the week for work, for doing things, but I won't wear it for prestigious reasons. It's found its own little niche area, and I have a watch box specifically for it, but the problem is that is also full. So I don't know if you can see in the background, but that watch box was the one we bought in York in one of the just previous videos for, I think, last week. So it now lives in there, and it lives in there with a couple of other watches on its own, and these are the watches that I can't quite work out where to put them in a pecking order. So what I am going to have to do at some point is do a video of the pecking order of watches. I think once I've shown you all of them, I can then go through building an order of them, the top one all the way down to the bottom. But then I don't hate the bottom one, it's just the one I would probably least likely wear on a day-to-day. I don't know, but let me know in the comments what you think of it. I really want to know what you think, because obviously you can't feel or touch you. You're just going based on looks, and that's what most people would do if they were walking, you know, down the street in a shop. They saw this watch on your wrist and they might go, oh, I like that, or oh, I don't like that. Let me know what you think, because I really do like the fact that, you know, there are people liking the videos, there are people who are subscribed to the channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. It's really, really nice to know people want to see what I'm putting out and people are giving it likes. We're not doing this for any monetary reason at all. This is purely, I love my wife, but she doesn't want to talk about watches. My friends don't want to talk about watches. So I figured a one-man talking show about affordable watches is the place to be. And if other people want to join in with that, then that's great. But no, thank you for everything in watching and subscribing. And yeah, I'm really, 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 really touched. But no, now I'd like you to comment and let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this? Is it big? Is it gaudy? Is it cheap? Is it nasty looking? Be honest. Let me know. There's no wrong answer. What is your opinion of it? That will obviously bring it to the end of the video today. So if you do like this, as I say, give it a like. Pop me a subscribe if you want to see more affordable watching episode 5. We will be putting the A's back up there. The next watch I've got, damn it, it has got two. It's also got 2 A's. So either next week we will be affordable watching, or we will be affordable watching, or actually let's cut the mustard up and just do affordable watching. I don't know. We'll mess about with it. But yeah, the next video will be me uploading the unboxing of that watch, and then the next video after that will be episode 6, talking about the review of that watch, and then we will be up to date with everything we've got, because oh boy, it is really hard to try and actually just get the time to do this, to film it and then put it all together and then get it uploaded. But no, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Good night.